Hey, what's up guys? Into the Burning Abyss here, back with another video. As you can see by the title, I want to update the Burning Abyss deck profile that I did like a month and a half ago. This is a Burning Abyss focused channel, so I decided to bring the deck back again because I have changed a few things from the last build. Now with Age of Overlord out, I do think, I'm really gonna call it support, but I do think some cards in Age of Overlord could be good in this deck. So that's why I decided to update the deck, as well as, the meta's been changing a little bit. And I decided to try to build this deck as competitive as I could, think of. I've been theorizing and, talking with some friends and all that stuff and seeing what could be good. So I did modify the list quite a bit versus the last one I did. The last one was fine too, but I do think that the last one, there probably wasn't enough going second cards, because I know the last build I tried to make a good one first and second, but I do think that some of the trap cards that I had in my previous build, it's like they synergize well with the deck, but they're still not that good, especially going second. So I really try to find a build that is, again, good going first and second, but I try to make it better than the last build, and I think I did finally, come up with a build that I would feel confident to take to a locals or something, maybe even a regional, maybe. That is, I plan to make that one of my missions one day, to take BA to a regional or something, and maybe a YCS. I don't know about that one, but just for fun, But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's just get right into the build. All right, guys, let's just hop right in. I do plan on showing y'all everything. This, like I said, this probably is the list that I would take to a regional, or of course locals is fine, but a regional tournament as well. So I definitely think this is probably the best version of BA that I've probably built in the last year or so in terms of competitiveness. So yeah, try it out, guys. Here's the Burning Abyss lineup. We got 3 Graph, 3 Seer, and then for the 2 ofs, 2 Skarm, 2 Farfa, and 2 Libic. So I did change the ratios here. I dropped Skarm and Farfa from 3 to 2, even though we are playing Desires, but as much, I do think that because we're playing Desires, ideally it'd be good to play 3 of each one of those. The Libic would still stay at 2, but these 2 I kind of wish I could play 3, but it's just too many monsters, and yes, you do want to open up 2 level 3s for sure. That is the goal, of course, of the deck, to definitely have 2 level 3s to be able to play. But at the same time, and yes, opening multiple BAs, I guess while it is a bad hand, it is playable. But I really do think that because I think I had 20 monsters that were level 3s that could be used for combo. But then that wasn't including the hand trap Ash Blossom. It is level 3, but it's not BA, of course. But I feel 20 monsters was just a little bit too much. When I was testing with the previous build, a lot of times it would happen too frequently where I would open up 2 of the same name, or too many monsters, which going first is fine. It's not even that fine, actually, because yeah, if you go first, you can set up IP Beatrice, but honestly, just IP Beatrice without anything else is not really that good in today's meta. So yeah, that's why I decided to lower the count a little bit for these 2, just to make room for a few more other cards, which actually some of the other cards I chose for this build will compensate for the fact that we have a slightly lower monster count. So I think that's, what is that? I think that was 6, 10, 12. I had 12 BAs right there. And then the last 3, well, of course, y'all know Graph and Seer are the most important, so that's why we played 3. Farfa and Skarm is also important, but like I said, just trying to lower the count a little bit, and play a variety of names. Libic is fine at 2, and then Farfa at 2 is also fine. You just have to pray that if you do Desires, you don't banish both of them, to be honest, but it happens. And the 1-ofs, 1 Alec, 1 Barbar, 1 Calcab. These are the more utility ones. Alec negates a card, Barbar damage for time, and Calcab bounces back row. I think there's enough back row in the meta to really merit actually playing Calcav. And plus, this makes it so that it's different names. Like you have 3 other names, so you don't have to. It's like a lower chance that you'll open up 2 of the same name. So that's 18 BAs, no, 15 BAs. Which it used to be 18 or 17, I think, before. Yeah, 17. So now for the support, of course, 2 Rhino Warrior, 1 Tour Guide. I think this is. I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's standard. Like some people mix these ratios up a lot, but I wanted 2 Rhino and then 3 Graph just to have. It's kind of like you're having 5 copies of Graph in the main deck, which is kind of like the ideal number for you to open up one of them, and you have a good chance of opening up one of them in your opening hand. You don't really want to open up like this and Graph only. So that's why I just played 2 here and then 1 Tour Guide. Just, you only want to search off Scarm on the end phase. You don't really want to open her. So 1, I think, is just fine for turn 3. So yeah, I believe it's 18 total like level 3 monsters that can be used or are part of the BA lineup. Now for the hand traps or going second cards, we got 3 Ash, 2 Droll, and 3 Imperm. So these are the going second cards in terms of hand traps. I think these are Ash, Imperm are very standard, like the most common, cover the most decks. Imperm plays around talents, and Ash, of course, I mean every deck has something that Ash can be used on, to be honest, and it has high impact against certain decks like Branded and stuff. So that's the thing, it merits being mained. Droll is like an iffy card. I'm decided to play this one for now, but this could be something else. Like it is kind of like a flex spot that you could, if you want to cater the deck more to like what your locals has, you could take the Droll out and play something else. But I think for competitiveness, like against Vanadium or like Dragon Link or things like that, I do think Droll is a really good card. So that's why we opted to play it, even though we're only playing it at 2. I definitely don't think it's as high priority, so I don't think 3 is necessary. For the rest of the going second cards, like kind of like the board breakers, 3 Droplet and 3 Book of Moon. What I like about these 2 cards is that, I mean, it's a good thing also about with the hand traps as well. But particularly what I like about these board breakers, quote unquote, is that they're actually also good going first, since you can set them and use them as interruptions on your opponent's turn. Hand traps are also good going first and second, which is why I guess most people opt to play hand traps. But board breakers can also be. I wanted to play board breakers that could be good going first as well. So like I didn't want to play things like Dark Hole or Raigeki, or those cards are useless going first. So I think these cards are like the best. Droplet synergizes with BA so well, so definitely worth playing. And now that Arise Heart is gone, it's a better card as well. Book of Moon, like I said, it's a good card. I don't think we need to play like Book of Eclipse anymore. But it's good against a wide variety of matchups as well. So definitely think merits being played. Book of Moon is not once per turn also, so if you draw 2, it's fine. Now we have a few like they're going first cards, but they can also be good going second depending on what deck you're facing and what kind of board is set up. Playing a couple 3 Skill Drain and 2 Daruma Cannon. So yeah, Skill Drain is just really good into a wide variety of matchups, and Skill Drain is like the only floodgate that I feel like kind of works with BA. It just doesn't, like most floodgates don't work with BA, since BA there's too many different differences in attribute and types when it comes to the main deck and extra deck monsters. So I don't like, you can't really play any other floodgate besides Skill Drain, to be honest. Like goes in, all the BAs are dark, but all the like Dante and Beatrice are lights. Rivalry, all the BAs are fiends, but then Dante is warrior, Beatrice is fairy, so it just doesn't work. But yeah, Skill Drain I think is good in the deck. The BAs can stay on board, and all the effects really activating Grave, so it's not a big deal. And then the Daruma Cannon is just a pretty good card to white boards, and it's pretty hard to, it deals with a lot around things like monsters that can be targeted, that monsters that can be destroyed, or things like that. So definitely think it's good to play it in the main. I would say the Ruben Cannon is also a flex spot. So like the two Ruben Cannon and the two Droll, you could definitely change those four out for, like I said, something that is more suited for maybe the tournament you want to go to, like the locals or tournament you want to go to. And the last three cards is two Pot of Desires, one Foolish. Pot of Desires, the deck needs draw power, and this is the best card to do it. Prosperity just doesn't work too well in this deck. You don't want to banish too many cards. And then Foolish Burial is like another BA copy, or it can be used going first and second, so definitely necessary in this deck. And that's it for the main 40 cards. Going into the extra deck, we got the standard 1 Beatrice and 2 Dante. Of course, that is very standard in most BA lineups. Beatrice is like the boss monster, kind of, I guess. And then Dante, of course, is absolutely necessary. Definitely need 2 as well. Now, going into the rest of the XYZs, we got the DDD package, which I actually think works really well with Skill Drain because it's an easy 3,000 monster, like attack monster on board. And that's one of the things BA lacks. Like, BA does not have any high attack monsters. All their monsters are 2,500, like Beatrice and Dante. So that's really not too much of an attack. And then if you have Skill Drain, then Dante won't get the attack boost. So this is like a good combo card, like set of cards to play, especially in this build with Skill Drain. So you could just have a free like 3,000 attack beat state on board. And then for the Zeus package, we play 1 Downerd and 2 Zeus. I think this is pretty standard as well. This is, like I said, good going first and second, so you don't want to make it like a full XYZ type build. That's better for like the going second build. And I think 2 Zeus is honestly perfect, and 1 Downerd as well, because the DDD package can be used to make a 4 material Zeus, and so can Downerd. So you have 2 ways to make 4 material Zeuses, and you have 2 Zeus. So there you go. It's like I don't feel like you don't need to play the third one, and you don't need to play a second Downerd either. So that's it for that. It's pretty. I think that's pretty standard in most BA builds. And then one of the cards that just came out of Age of Overlord, we are playing the Star Slayer, Typhon, Sky Crisis, the Anti-Zeus. I mean, this card is pretty easy to summon, so I definitely think it's another pretty big body on board that's, like I said, easy to summon. So under Skill Drain, it works well as well. And it's also, of course, even not under Skill Drain, it's just an easy body to get out. So definitely think it merits being played, and also the fact that it bounces cards is really good, like against Mirror Jade, against things like that. So definitely think this card is. I mean, I'm not saying it's mandatory, but I definitely wanted to try it out. That's it for the XYZs. Now for the links, we are playing the 1-Axis Code Talker. It's the only link 4 we play. Helps go for game. Helps get rid of cards on board, like pop cards and all that stuff. We can play 1 Link 3 as well with the Unicorn, which combos off with IP. And again, the fact that it bounces a card to the deck is also really good. It outs like a lot of things better, like like Mirror Jade, things like that that have effects when they're destroyed, or that things that can't be destroyed. So this card can out those things. And then we have a couple of Link 2s. We got 1 IP, 1 Dark, Cherubini, and then the other new card out of Age of Overlord, 1 SP Little Knight. So, of course, IP is part of the normal combo for BA. Dark, it's easy to make in BA. You have a lot of dark monsters in the main, and it just helps you link climb, or helps you. I mean, you can't just leave it on board, So if your opponent destroys it, you can search for other cards. Cherubini, of course, BA, so you definitely need to play Cherubini, and it also helps link climbing or things like that, or for comboing, basically. And then SP Little Knight, of course, this card is very generic and should be in everyone's deck nowadays, and it's just a really good card. So because it's so generic, of course, BA can play it as well. It's just 2 effect monsters, and its effect is really good, so why not? I had to cut, of course, to be able to put those 2 cards in. I had to cut the Purple Dante, and I had to cut Gravity Controller, which the Purple Dante made me sad, but as much as I hate to say it, the Purple Dante just doesn't come up enough really to merit playing or like for it to be absolutely necessary. I just could not think of what else to cut. But also having a link lineup also makes it harder for your opponent to just debarrier you. So it's another reason why I think having links is necessary. And now for the side deck, we play for the monsters 3 Lava Golem and 3 DD Crow. Lava Golem, of course, very good card. Outs 2 bodies on board, which most decks at least end on 2 bodies. I feel like there's not very many decks except for like trap decks that end on 1 monster. So Lava Golem helps out big bodies, and which BA has a hard time dealing with. BA doesn't have anything really in the main or extra deck to out tower monsters, things like that. So I definitely think Lava Golem is necessary, and BA is one of the few decks that it is a little bit difficult, but it can play without its normal summon. So why not? DD Crow, of course. I mean, the Bystials are good as well, but just things like Nibiru, Bystials, things like that don't synergize that well with BA. So I think just DD Crow is the best bet. And it also banishes any card, not just monster, like light and dark monsters. So has more flexibility there. So yeah, I decided to just play that against like tier limits, against can be good against like branded, like for their branded in red target, things like that. So definitely think it's a pretty good card. Now for the back row hate, we played 2 Lightning Storm and 2 Cosmic. Lightning Storm, of course, general going second or board wipe destruction, whether it's spell or traps or monsters. I think having that flexibility makes it a good card and merits it being played in the side. And Cosmic Cyclone, I think the card is, it's a good card, and while I don't like the fact that it's just a 1-for-1 trade, I do think that it's necessary right now because I feel like there's a lot of cards nowadays, even spell and traps, that benefit off destructions, like all the tier limit cards, the Unchained cards. So I think Cosmic helps play around that better. So I definitely that's why I'm playing Cosmic in the side. And now for the going first cards, we are playing 3 D-Barrier and 2 Anti-Spell. Of course, D-Barrier, very generic card, like covers a wide variety of decks. Branded, Exosystem, purely those are XYZs. So decks like those are fusion-based decks. It's just so good against those decks. So I definitely think it's mandatory to play the card. And then Anti-Spell Fragrance, just again another card that covers a wide variety of decks. We don't play very many spell cards in the deck. Really, it's just I think 9. The 2 Pot of Desires, 1 Foolish is 3, and then the 3 Droplet, 3 Book of Moon. And plus, if you're going first, like the Book of Moon and Droplets can still be used. Or well, actually, if you're going first, then I guess you could just side out Droplets and easily put in like the Anti-Spell or the D-Barriers, So I definitely think that these cards are really good, floodgates for going first. And yeah, I'm thinking about whether to do 3 of this and 2 of this, but right now I'm keeping it like this because D-Barrier, it doesn't stay on board, which is good for BA because BA, like, they can't special summon themselves if you control spell or trap cards. So that's why I definitely think that this is the better ratio, but I do think Anti-Spell Fragrance covers more decks, and there's more decks that rely on spell cards versus this card, so it's hard to say, but it's obviously up to your choice. But that's basically it, guys, for the whole deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. I definitely think, like I said, this is one of the best competitive BA builds that I've ever built, I think. I definitely do like how it's been going. Even if you don't draw 2 names, the fact that we play like floodgates, like Skill Drain, and we have a good amount of going second cards, it doesn't always mean that, we auto lose if we don't draw 2 level 3s, unless they're playing like a heavy combo deck or something. But we also, like I said, we also play Droll for that too, even though it's only 2 copies. But yeah, I think the deck covers a wide variety of matchups. It has plenty of going first and second cards. Going second cards I think are more important. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.